In my video number 10, in the discussion of alphabets J, Q, and X in pinyin, I mentioned that the alphabets J, Q, and X have very close relationships with alphabets Z, C, and S respectively. C or Q in pinyin is pronounced as the starting J sound in English word Julie, except with plain lips, not the protruded ones. S or X in pinyin is pronounced as the starting S sound in English word some. Z or J in pinyin is pronounced as the starting CH sound in English word change, except with plain lips, not the protruded ones. I also pointed out that all those 6 alphabets can only lead a pinyin. What makes them distinguishable is the alphabets J, Q, and X in pinyin can be only and only immediately followed by either functional alphabet I with written alphabet I as well, or functional alphabet E with written alphabet U. Or in other words, except in the retroflex forms discussed later, the alphabets C, S, and Z in pinyin can be immediately followed by any vowels, and only vowels, but not U of course. For my definition of functional or written alphabet, please refer to my video number 7. This form of separation of alphabets J, Q, and X from alphabets Z, C, and S was brought forward from its predecessor spelling system, Zhuyin Fuhao. Please refer to my video, A Brief History of Pinyin in this channel on Zhuyin Fuhao. C corresponds to C, Q corresponds to Qi, S corresponds to S, X corresponds to C, Z corresponds to Z, J corresponds to Ji. In Zhuyin Fuhao, alphabets C, S, and Z are said to be voiced consonants, by means that as a consonant, each of them by itself is pronounceable. However, in pinyin, alphabets C, S, and Z are not pronounceable without any vowels. Therefore, as functional alphabet I cannot immediately follow those alphabets C, S, and Z. The written alphabet I is borrowed to follow immediately those alphabets C, S, and Z to make them pronounceable. The borrowed alphabet I here only gives continuation of Voiced consonant sound of the followed C, S, and Z. Therefore, please put more attention on the pinyin CI, SI, and ZI in contrast to CE, SE, and ZE. Please note that Mandarin also has retroflex form, as such called in this term. Therefore, Zhuyin Fuhao has its own 4 alphabets for this retroflex form. As explained in A Brief History of Pinyin video, the 26 letters of Latin alphabets are not enough to cover the 37 symbols used in Zhuyin Fuhao alphabets. So, pinyin uses the leading combinations of CH, SH, and ZH with addition of the alphabet R for the places of those 4 alphabets in Zhuyin Fuhao. CH corresponds to Sh, SH corresponds to Sh, ZH corresponds to Z, R corresponds to R. This retroflex form is briefly mentioned in the connection of the discussion of alphabets H in my video number 5. And in this video, we also will skip the discussion of this retroflex form for another video later. Let's jump to how to pronounce the alphabets Z, C, and S in pinyin directly. Please remember that pinyin alphabet C is pronounced as the plain lips, J in English Julie. Here is how to pronounce the alphabet C in pinyin. CA is pronounced as Cha, CAI is pronounced as Chai, CAN is pronounced as Chan, CAN is pronounced as Chang, CAO is pronounced as Chao, CE is pronounced as Che. The alphabet E following the alphabet C requires you to open your mouth to pronounce the vowel E clearly to make the consonant-vowel combination form. You have to compare this CE with CI below. CEN is pronounced as chen. CEng is pronounced as cheng. We are skipping the pinyin with starting combination CH. Please remember this CI special pinyin form, as the alphabets J, Q, and X in pinyin can be only and only immediately followed by either functional alphabet I or functional alphabet U. This alphabet I in CI is only a written alphabet, and it's pronounced as ci. With the alphabet I following the alphabet C, you cannot drop your lower jaw in pronouncing ci, the voiced consonant. You have to compare this ci with ch above. Coeng is pronounced as chong. Cou is pronounced as cho. Cu is pronounced as chu. Cuan is pronounced as chuan. Cui is pronounced as chui. Cun is pronounced as chun. Cuo is pronounced as chuo. Please remember that pinyin alphabet S is pronounced as the plain lips S in English, some. Here is how to pronounce the alphabet S in pinyin. SA is pronounced as sa. SAI is pronounced as sai. SAN is pronounced as san. SAeng is pronounced as sang. SAO is pronounced as sao. SE is pronounced as se. The alphabet E following the alphabet S requires you to open your mouth to pronounce the vowel E clearly to make the consonant-vowel combination form. You have to compare this SE with SI below. SEN is pronounced as sen. SEng is pronounced as seng. We are skipping the pinyin with starting combination SH. Please remember this SI special pinyin form, as the alphabets J, Q, and X in pinyin can be only and only immediately followed by either functional alphabet I or functional alphabet U. This alphabet I in SI is only a written alphabet, and it's pronounced as S. With the alphabet I following the alphabet S, you cannot drop your lower jaw in pronouncing S, the voiced consonant. You have to compare this S with S above. Soeng is pronounced as song. Sou is pronounced as so. Su is pronounced as su. Suan is pronounced as swan. Sui is pronounced as sui. Sun is pronounced as suan. Suo is pronounced as suo. Please remember that pinyin alphabet Z, on the other hand, is pronounced as the plain lips CH in English, chains instead of J. Here is how to pronounce the alphabet Z in pinyin. CA is pronounced as ta. CAI is pronounced as tai. CAN is pronounced as tan. ZAeng is pronounced as zhang. ZAO is pronounced as zhao. ZE is pronounced as ze. The alphabet E following the alphabet Z requires you to open your mouth to pronounce the vowel E clearly to make the consonant-vowel combination form. You have to compare this ZE with ZI below. ZEI is pronounced as J. ZEN is pronounced as Chen. ZEeng is pronounced as Cheng. We are skipping the pinyin with starting combination ZH. Please remember this ZI special pinyin form, as the alphabets J, Q, and X in pinyin can be only and only immediately followed by either functional alphabet I or functional alphabet U. This alphabet I in ZI is only a written alphabet, and it's pronounced as Z, the voiced consonant. With the alphabet I following the alphabet Z, you cannot drop your lower jaw in pronouncing Z. You have to compare this Z with Z above. Zoeng is pronounced as zong. Zou is pronounced as zhou. Ziu is pronounced as zhu. Zuan is pronounced as zuan. Zui is pronounced as zui. Zun is pronounced as zun. Zuo is pronounced as zuo. For deeper understanding on the functional alphabet I and written alphabet I, you can also refer to my previous video in the content of alphabet I. And that's all for this video number 12. Thank you for watching.